Hi, my name is Daile Rois. I got married during this process, so it's not bolus anymore. I live in a holler right outside of Kanawha State Forest, and I am the official impacted citizen. I want to talk about people, and I want to talk about how this affects people, because as thrilled as I am that our mine is closed, my water's already poisoned. My well water's okay, as far as I know, but the creek will never be the same. And today is important enough, and I'm emotional enough that I did something weird. Actually wrote what I'm going to say. I've spent a good part of the last 2 years learning what it is to live outside of a surface coal mine or mountaintop removal mine. The noise, the dust, air and water quality concerns, the destruction of property values with no recompense. These are obvious temporary inconveniences, as the mining industry and the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection terms them. Other adjustments that are not so obvious on the ground. The constant concern about whether or not the well water will fail. Can the water testing done by the coal companies even be trusted? Wondering if the dust or the water is already making your loved ones sick. Will we be part of West Virginia's high cancer rate statistics? And is that figured into the cost of coal mining? The fear of flooding every time it rains, because now the creek rises so quickly with all the trees and dirt gone from the mountain. Knowing that the creek is the wrong color now and runs thick with sediment, and that the West Virginia DEP knows this, and the mine owner and operator do nothing to correct the issues. I've learned so much more about how our government works at both the state and federal levels. How here in West Virginia in particular, the federal government is painted as the bad guy, creating unrealistic environmental standards that destroy businesses and lives. Yet appeals to the federal government are futile because the states enforce or don't enforce those standards, and it's pretty much out of federal hands. Which boils down to this. Blaming the federal government is a lie told by friends of coal and their ilk. What's happened in our state has been done by our own state officials. Bottom line, citizens are on our own, and no one has our backs. Except that's not quite true either. Yes, there is help. And it comes from individuals and volunteers and organizations that educate and offer emotional empathy and teach the skills and share the information that citizens need to work with their own local, county, state, and federal officials. In this regard, I've been very blessed. These fine folk have kept me sane, balanced, and hopeful. It's been quite a ride, one of the biggest roller coasters of my life, and I hate roller coasters. So you would think that finding out that the West Virginia DEP and the owner and operator of the Keystone Development No. 2 mine have signed a consent order that in part states that no additional mineral removal activities may occur on this permit. Activity is exclusively restricted to actions necessary to achieve phased release of the permit, would have me doing a happy dance, a victory lap, and shouting everywhere I can, "We won!" But I'm not. I'm not because I know things now. I know that the Friends of Coal will spin this as jobs lost, while needed repairs and reclamation at the mine site are left undone. There are plenty of opportunities for jobs in reclamation and necessary repairs to damaged waterways and sediment control structures at mine sites all over our state, not just Katy No. 2. There is work. It isn't being done. I can't celebrate when I know that other families have dealt with this assault on their lives for so many more years than I have, and will continue to do so unless our state officials start looking at the human cost of refusing to see any future for our state other than coal. When I started this journey, I didn't understand the apathy, the "you can't fight coal" attitude. Now I do. It's not apathy. It's weariness. It's survivor mode. I'd love for this victory to be our victory, but that can only happen if people will hear this. We can fight for our personal rights. We can fight for our families, our communities, against these big companies and a non-responsive government. Look at how many people are behind me. There aren't that many. And we have made a big, big change. It takes one person joining with 2 people, joining with 3 people. It does not take an army. We can determine our future, and we can win. We did, and we didn't do it alone. And you don't have to either. We found help in the folks of the Kanawha Forest Coalition, the Ohio Valley of Environmental Coalition, Sierra Club, Alliance for Appalachia, Appalachian Voices, Friends of the Mountains, Coal River Mountain Watch, and individuals within the West Virginia DEP who still believe that Department of Environmental Protection means just that. I am so grateful that when I wanted to give up, they reached in. They helped me find my voice and the courage to fight for my right to keep my home and my holler safe for my family. Maybe I can do the happy dance. The victory lap will wait until real change happens at state and federal level. I'm not done. And one of the people that inspired me when I first started out in this journey, I heard his name a lot, was Larry Gibson, known with Capered Mountain. And I would like to acknowledge his widow, Carol Gibson, who's with us today. You've never met me, Carol, but your husband is my hero. Thank you. Anybody who wants interviews, I think you know who we all are, and we will be around here for a bit. Does anybody else need to say anything? One last